What's up guys, welcome back to the next video in learning C++. My name is Danny and you guys are watching my channel Corio. So alright, in this video we're gonna see what is the scope rule of functions. Alright, so it defines how an object is accessed by various parts of your program. It determines the lifetime of the variables. Alright, so in this video we're gonna see what is the variables. So there are three types of variables: the local variables, and the second one is global variables, and the third one is formal parameters. So this one should sound familiar to you guys because we already gone through these formal parameters inside the function arguments called by value. So we have already discussed this and you guys should be familiar with this one. So you shouldn't have any problem with this one because this is also variables. We know how to create variables. If you guys know how to create variables, we have say int x. This is a variable. So if you guys want to assign something to int x or double x or float x or string x, or you guys want to anything, any data type of your choice, you guys can put in front of the x, which is the name, int Yazdani or float Yazdani or float anything. You guys, whatever you guys suits you, you guys can create variables. So we have a local variable which resides inside the functions. Alright, so the global variables resides outside the functions, and the formal parameter we have already discussed that you guys pass by value. This one is the formal parameters inside the pass by value. A variable that used to receive pass value is called the formal argument or formal parameter. If a function was uses arguments, then it must declare variable that will accept the value of those arguments. These variables are called formal parameters. So I'll give you guys the reference of this because I already saved this inside the call by ref txt. And if you guys know this one, this is the same call by reference, call by value. A variable that used to receive pass value is called formal argument of formal parameters. Okay, so we're going to discuss this formal argument of formal parameters. Formal argument is formal parameters is x is like a local variable. It resides inside the function. Okay, so now we're going to see what is local variable. Variable that declared inside the function are called local variables, only local to the block of the functions, created upon entry into the block and destroyed on exit. Okay, so we have a function and we have our parameter here, and this curly braces here, if you guys look at here, this is where the function starts, and here where the curly braces ends, this is where the function ends. This is the boundary of the starting of the function, and inside this is a block, and so you guys can create local variables. You guys can create any other things, and you guys can create all sorts of data, and the data are private, can be accessed by other function. So if you guys got a function, it's a private. Whatever is inside this happens inside this function stays inside this function. So other functions can come in, say picking inside this function. I want to know what's this function about, what's this function's functionality. So they have they just mind their own business. So they're this whatever the data you guys put inside this function stays inside this function, is private, and functions hidden also. So the function is hidden. As long as you guys creating data and creating local variables, your function is going to be hidden from other functions, unless you guys want to create the local variables. If you guys want to access the local variables, then your functions won't be private, won't be hidden. So you other functions can see this function, so because it's not going to be private anymore, hidden anymore. All right, so we're going to come down, and formal parameter x like exactly like a local variables. It works like a local variables because we guys pass the value inside the formal parameter. And if you guys know the function use arguments, and then you must declare variable that will accept the values of those arguments. And this function local formal parameter behaves like local variables, and the scope of this formal parameter is local to its function. So this works, as I said to you guys before, this works like a local function, behaves like a local function. And this one, if you guys remember from we passed the value, we created some formal parameter receive the value, and that's what we call the formal parameter. A variable that used to receive the pass value is called formal argument or formal parameters. Okay, so we're gonna discuss, we have gone through this, and we're gonna see the local variables in this video. What is local variable? In the next video we're gonna see the global variables. What are global variables, how we're gonna declare the local variables and use the local variables. So you with the local variables, you guys look at here, that's beginning of the, so think of the function like California or New York or Karachi or Sydney or Melbourne inside. So people who lives or Jakarta or you think of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. If you see of Jakarta, people who reside inside the Jakarta city are the local to the city. People who lives inside the, say, New York are local to New York, so city. So this is the very easy to understand, self-explanatory. So, and people who reside outside New York are called global variables or global outside. They're not gonna call, you guys not gonna call people who reside outside the New York. They are not local to the city. They are outsiders. They're sitting in California. They're local to California. And when the function finishes here, your local variables gets destroyed. So as far as C++ concerned, if you ask at this point C++, where is my local variable called, and C++ says, I don't care where the local variables is, I have your local variable destroyed here at this point. So this curly braces, this is where the starting point of the function and the end of the function, and when the curly braces ends, your local variable gets destroyed. So at this point, if you guys look at here, and if you guys declare your declare data, declare all your data, declare local variables, alright, so we're gonna declare a local variable of the type string, and instead of XYZ ABC, I'm gonna call it Corio, which is my channel. So for you guys to easy to remember, this is local variable. This is main local variable, for example, main local variables. Okay, so we can identify this string data type, which we name it Corio, and we initialize it the literal string. This is a local main. This is a main local. This is the main local variable. Okay, so we're gonna see out this one. And I'm gonna finish here, and if you guys come here, and now you know that we have a local variable which string the data type, and this is initialization. And if we run our code, we're gonna see this. This is the main local variable, because this is the main inside this. If you guys look in here inside the main, if you guys look in here, this is the main. So if you're gonna run and build our project, and we're gonna see, okay, looks like our project's good. Okay, so I'm gonna bring a little down, and if we run this function, and if you guys look at main variable, this is the main local variable. So our local variables are displayed. Alright, so we're gonna create another function, and we're gonna put the same credentials inside. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm going to create another function here, and I'm going to put a void Yazdani. I'm going to call this function Yazdani with no parameter, and I'm going to start the function, and I'm going to copy everything inside here. Okay, so now I have exactly same looking Corio with the data type string, local variable. Okay, this is the main, this is the Yazdani local variable. Yazdani Yazdani variable, because this function is Yazdani. Alright, so now we have the same local variable string, which is the data type string Corio, because it's called Corio, and here it is called Corio as well inside this function. But this is the main. As far as C++ concerned, when the C++ reaches to this curly braces end, your local variable gets destroyed. And if you guys look at here, as far as C++ concerned, if you guys look at here, ask where is my where is Corio, and C++ is gonna say Corio doesn't exist. Okay, why? Because this function closes here, and your local variable, this local variable gets destroyed, and this local variable gets destroyed here. So if you ask C++ at this point, C++ already destroyed your local variables, can't remember your local variable, where your local variables is. Okay, so if you guys, we're gonna come here and we say void Yazdani, we put a prototype here, and if you guys come here and we put a Yazdani and to call our invoke our function. So we're calling our invoking function, so we're calling our function Yazdani, and we're going to see what happens if the C++ have conflict of the two similar names or not. So we're going to see if the C++ is happy or not. Okay, so main variable, this is the main local variables, Yazdani variable, this is the Yazdani local variables. So what just happened? Why the C++ didn't give you guys the conflict of same name? So sometimes with the programming, if you have the same name, so you're gonna have a problem then, because the C++ gonna complain. And in this case, the same name, the C++ not complaining because of the same name. Alright, so the C++, as far as C++ concerned, if you ask the C++ around here, because the C++ gonna destroy you this local variable Corio here, and when you guys declare another function and you guys go ahead and you guys create another local string Corio, C++ don't care. C++ comes here and says that I can see you guys have a data type string and have a variable called Corio, and this is what you guys, whatever you guys put here is a literal string is going to display. And if you, even if you guys call here, because the C++ inside the main here, it calling or invoking your functions here, C++ don't care. Even if you guys declare thousands of functions with the same name Corio, C++ don't care, because C++ as when the curly braces ends, it destroys this local variable, and if you guys starts here, it destroys the local variable here. So even if you guys here, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna see out, say come here, and I'm gonna put the same C out, and I'm gonna put a second main variable Corio, and I'm gonna put the next line. So if you guys put it here C out, and I'm gonna put a line, and we're gonna use this C out many times, and I'm gonna put a end line here, next line. Okay, so I'm gonna use this again. Okay, so now we have at this point, this is the Corio which is local to the main, and there is another Corio which is local to Yazdani, and now we're gonna put our line, and that's the second variable, and we're gonna create again Corio to see if the C++ is in conflict with another variable here which is local Corio or not. So we're gonna run if you guys look at here, main variable, this is the main local variable, Yazdani variable, that's a local to the Yazdani, and the second main variable, this is the main local variable. So we're calling this function, the top one is again here, but the C++ seems to be don't care. C++ sees this one as like, because you guys see again and again calling this one, and there is no conflict of interest here, there is no conflict, same name conflict here, because they all, these two functions are local. Even if you guys go ahead and create another function, so if I go ahead and copy that one, and I'm gonna come here and create a different function, for example, and if I don't want to call it Yazdani, because I'm gonna want to call it wood, that's my another function, and this is the wood local variable. And if you guys gonna put a wood variable, wood function variable, because now this wood, this Corio, which is also in the main, also in the Yazdani, and also in the wood, it destroys here. Okay, so that's a main destroys here, and then it again is destroyed here, and then we're going to call in again destroys here. So if you guys go here and go to put a void wood, okay, so if you go here in wood, and if you come here and say wood, gonna call again to see what happens, because that's a local to the C, this is the local to the Yazdani, and again local to the C, and this is local Corio local gonna be to the wood, to see what happens. Alright, as you guys look at here, the main variable, this is the main to the local main local variable, Yazdani variable, this is a Yazdani local variable, because this is coming from the Yazdani function, and the second is coming from the main function, and it's coming from the wood function, wood variable. This is a wood local variable. So as you guys see, all of them's Corio, all of them's got the same data type, same everything the same, but the C++ is displays again and again and again, and you guys sometimes thinking why this C++ not complaining is the same name, because we're using the same local variable, because it's called the local variables, and C++ don't care, because C++ as soon as it reaches here, it destroys your local variable. And so you guys have a function Yazdani, and you guys have a function wood, but it's the same local variables Corio, and here is string Corio, and on the top is Corio, because Corio is everywhere, but the C++ not complaining, because all of them is local variable, none of them is global variables. So in the next video, we're going to show you guys what is the local global variables, how we're going to access the global variables, how we're going to declare the global variables. But as far as local variables C++ concerned, if you guys declare, doesn't matter, 1,000 local variables, and as soon as the C++ comes here, it destroys everything, whatever you guys got inside the local variable. But there is exception, and that exception is I'm going to show you guys in the future video, and I'm going to show you guys what is the exception, how we're going to let our variables not get destroyed by the function. So, but as far as the C++ concerned, whatever you guys put a local variables here, it destroys at this point. And if you guys declare that again in the next function, see, by all means C++ gonna process that one and gonna show it to the user. And if you guys do that again here, C++ gonna destroy again. Even if you guys got hundreds of functions with the hundreds of local variables got Corio, C++ gonna display each time. Alright, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you guys got any question or comment, leave it in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.